Today I'm reacting to the article, Are Refugee Children Learning? Early Grade Literacy in a Refugee Camp in Kenya. It's by Piper, Dryden-Peterson, Chopra, Reddick, and Oyanga. This paper opens with a killer fact. 25.4 million people living as refugees around the world by the end of 2017. The latest numbers show that at almost 26 million. So when we think about refugee education, the first thing we ask is, are they even in school? The UN Refugee Agency put out a report recently that reports less than 2 out of 3 refugee kids are in primary school, relative to more than 90% of other kids. So here's a reaction. Let's get these kids access to education. But what today's article asks is, even for those refugee kids who are in school, are they learning? This team of researchers assessed learning for children in all the schools providing lower primary education to refugee children in Kakuma Refugee Camp in Kenya. Kakuma is up in the north of Kenya. You can see it there on the map. Almost half of the refugees are from South Sudan, nearly 20% are from Sudan, and about 15% are displaced kids from within Kenya. The others are from other countries in the region. So how do these kids do? In this figure, the authors show us that on a reading comprehension test, kids in the Kakuma refugee camp get 1.8% of questions right on an English test in 2nd grade. But kids in Kenya, as a whole, get 4% right, more than twice as many in 1st grade, so a year earlier. In Kiswahili, the gap is even bigger. This is an early grade reading assessment. Nobody is asking the kids to read Moby Dick. So just to be clear, the kids in the Kenya baseline overall are doing really poorly. This is a problem in lots of the world, as this figure from the World Bank's World Development Report 2018 shows. But the refugee kids are doing even worse. One striking result is that the kids do even worse if they expect to still be in the refugee camp in 3 years. The authors point out that without the right to work and move in their host country, these kids and their families may feel little motivation to invest in gaining the language skills of the host country. This is a useful descriptive paper and an important reminder of one more way that refugee kids lose out. Hopefully it also gets us thinking and acting on the policies that both improve the quality of education for refugees and the economic opportunities that will allow that education to pay off.